There is ongoing concern in the auto industry, with 25% tariffs set to come into effect Thursday at midnight. Carl Ambrosiak wanted to shop before that deadline.
I want to get a new car before the price goes up.
While there will be some exemptions for Canadian cars made with U.S. parts, the Canadian Vehicle Manufacturers Association says prices could climb substantially.
Costs will go up for manufacturers, which mean vehicle prices go up. We're estimating prices will go up anywhere between $4,500 US and $10,000 for a new vehicle.
And auto parts going into the U.S. could see a tariff by May 3rd. This factory makes panels and other products with aluminum and steel, which were hit with 25% tariffs last month. There were fears reciprocal tariffs could have pushed that even higher. About half of their clients are in the U.S. They've already lost contracts, laid off staff, and cut shifts.
How have things been for you in this industry in the last few months?
Terrible, actually. Since December, since the very first day that Donald Trump has mentioned there could be tariffs being added, things started to look very different.
Pierre Boulanger estimates the company has paid about $150,000 in U.S. tariffs since March, costs passed on to frustrated customers.
It was the uncertainties is what creates this nightmare at the moment, because business chaos is not good.
Other companies are feeling it too.
If we talk about companies buying aluminum to make products, whether we're talking light poles, window frames, trucks, body parts, or automotive components, just the threat of the tariffs already had an impact on them, and many lost a lot of or most of their U.S. orders.
Although many Canadian companies have avoided new tariffs for now, the uncertainty is still hanging over them. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
The pressure on Canada's oil and gas sector is the same as it was yesterday, a 10% tariff, though just on oil and gas exports not covered under the Canada-U.S. free trade deal. But as Anis Haidari explains, industry insiders now feel trapped in a troubled trade relationship.
Canada's energy sector potentially spared from tariffs this time around. Many oil and gas companies can still ship to the United States without extra cost if they've done paperwork to prove their products comply with the new NAFTA.
We would need a gasoline pipe.
This energy analyst says in the past it wasn't always worth the trouble.
Part of the challenge with crude oil and the way it's shipped is that it is a chemical soup, and these things are all mixed together at kind of unknown levels and at levels that most of the companies can't guarantee at various stages through the supply chain.
Experts say companies are now motivated to figure out that paperwork. But a bigger problem, there's limited pipelines to anywhere else.
We're now the fourth or fifth biggest oil producer on the planet, opening up customers in east-west directions, not all to the U.S. So situations like exactly what we're dealing with are probably not going to occur.
Whether it's industry experts or the companies themselves, the oil and gas sector says the only way to really avoid Donald Trump's tariffs, make sure that Canada can sell to another country if the U.S. is no longer the easiest option. Anis Haidari, CBC News, Calgary.
Senior business correspondent Peter Armstrong joins us now in studio. Peter, can we start with the markets? What's your sense of what the reaction has been to these, sweeping tariffs?
Well, there was good reason to do this announcement after markets closed, because after-hours trading got absolutely clobbered on the news of this, and it just speaks to the fact that investors simply didn't believe that Donald Trump was ever going to go through with this. They always thought it was rhetoric or a threat, not something he was really going to follow through on, and yet here we are. And as these tariffs and the sweeping nature of them became more and more clear through the announcement, the futures markets just got absolutely hammered. We'll see what happens tomorrow morning when North American markets open up, but it's not looking good.
In terms of Canada, to a degree, certainly it appears this country dodged a bullet, not the bullet, but one of the bullets. Realistically, can Canada continue to stay in the clear?
Look, I think that comes down to a more fundamental question about what does Donald Trump really want? Does he want to, on the one hand, reorder global trade that we've built 70 years of trading practices up over? Or is he trying to use this as a negotiating tool? And it seems today that he's handing out these exemptions and carve-outs that maybe it's that. You can't do sort of both things. If he does go ahead and say this is simply a reordering of the global trade order, then all we've done is delay the inevitable, and our reckoning will come down the road. If this is just a negotiating tactic and something we now need to work our way through, well, we have a mechanism for that. But it really is something we're going to have to watch for and read how the other countries respond, how the U.S. responds to them, and use that to inform our response to the U.S.
And see what happens tomorrow and read the fine print.
Indeed.
Okay. Peter Armstrong, as always, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.